Now I will explain about the concept of power in organization. Concept of power has three concepts. First, the ability or capacity to do something or action in a particular way. That means some people have a professional technique to solve their problem in accounting and engineering. Second, the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the cause of event. Means some people influence other people to in fashion or event in event. Third, the ability or right to control people or things. Like manager have a power to control their employee to do their job. Next, I will explain about the quotes from Warren Farrell. I define power as control over one's life. Pay is not about power. Pay is about giving up power to get power of pay. Power ni dia akan kontrol kehidupan seseorang. Apabila kita bayar sesuatu bukan untuk mendapatkan kuasa, tetapi untuk mendapatkan untuk overcome kita punya kuasa. Next, quotes from Caroline Myss. Power is at the root of the human experience. Our attitudes and beliefs, positive or negative, are all extensions of how we define and use power. Kuasa ni datang dari pengalaman manusia, apa yang mereka lakukan dalam negatif atau positif, perlakuan yang negatif atau positif. Dari situ kita akan guna kuasa atau dapatnya macam mana kita dapat kuasa dan kita tahu cara menggunakan kuasa. Next, I will explain about based on an individual positions with the formal structure of an organization. First, coercive power. Coercive power is the ability of a manager to force an employee to follow an order by threatening the employee with the punishment if the employee does not comply with the order. Coercive power is used to force compliance by psychological, emotional or physical threat. Usually limit to verbal or written reprimand, disciplinary layoff, fines, demotion and terminations. Second, reward power. Reward power is simply the power of a manager to give some types of reward to an employee as a means to influence the employee to act. The reward can be intangible and intangible. Reward power is the ability to give reward to the perform employee, to the good performance. The reward such as salary, increase in salary, bonus, promotion recommendations, recognitions, and increased job assignment. Third, legitimate power refer to the power that is inherent in the position and authority of an individual within an organization. The scope of legitimate power is determined by the job description of an individual. Legitimate power is to the ability. Legitimate power is ability to influence others because of their position in organizations. It also called authority or the right to command of the employee. The characteristic of organizational authority is first, it is invest in a person's positions. Second, it is accepted by the subordinates. Third, authority is used vertically, flows from the top to down. Thank you.
What is expert power? Expert power is the power based on upper employees' perception that a manager or some other manager of an organization has a higher level of knowledge or a specialized set of skill that the other employee or members of the organization do not possess. Let's see the next slide. Expert power. What is expert power? Expert power based on the target perception that influencer has special skill, special knowledge, and useful experience that the target does not possess. Using the expert power is not as easy as it may sound, even for an organization that holds considerable knowledge that could be useful to the channel. There are three difficult to be able to exercise the expert power, and the channel member must be trusted, and otherwise other perception that the expert advice as an attempt at manipulation and discount it. Let's see the next slide. Referended power. Referended power is the power of an individual over the teams or followers based on the higher level of the admiration of or the respect of the power holder and leader. Let's see the next slide. Referended power. What is referended power? Referended power is the personal power that comes to a personal based on identification, imitation, loyalty, or charisma. Power that is abstract, not constraint. And then furthermore, employee give this personal power over them because he or she is like them in the personal background or attitude. Okay, employee can copy this person by wearing same clothes, working the same hours, and then believing the same management of philosophy. Referended power is more like to be associated with the leadership. Thank you so much. Hope you will understand the personal powers. Thank you so much.
Myself is Parmeshri Manimara, entries number 1026, and I'm going to explain about the power or influence tactics and their conjugation. And they have the 9 influence tactics. First, we are going to see the recognition. The seeking influence toward the persuade other that request is something they should complete with a given their situation or position. So which will relying on your authority position or saying the request according organization policy. So as an employee, you should obey the organization policy. You have to follow their interaction and their policy in the company. Second one is assertiveness. It is seeking the influence toward the includes repeated making a request and setting a timelines for the project completion, or the express the anguish toward the individual who do not meet the expectation. It's like using the aggressive wing or nega, a verb contract of giving orders. Inspiration appeals is developing emotional commitment and appeals to request value, needs, or hopes. Everyone have their own needs, hopes, and values in their individual, so it can inspire and other colleagues in surrounding us. Coalition is seeking influence toward the aid of other to persuade them to do something, or using the support of other as an argument for them agree. It's like enlisting the aid or support of other colleagues to pursue the request to agree. Upwards appeals, seeking information toward acceptance or approval of those higher position with the organization prior to make a request for someone. It's more like about making informal or formal appeals to the organization superior for intervention. We need the higher positions instruction to make a request with someone. Okay. Rational persuasion, a seeking influence to a logic argument and a faithful evidence to the persuade other that proposal or request is viable and likable to the result in the task of objective. It's most like presenting a logical argument and the factual evidence to demonstrate a request is a reasonable. It's like more looking for plannable reason, logic, and evidence, and also compromisation. Integration, seeking influence toward getting other in a good mood or to thinking favorably of them before asking them to do something. It's like using flattery or act polite or friendly to the supervisor to put them in a good mood before asking them something. Next is exchange, seeking influence to making explicitly or implicitly a promise that other will receive rewards or tangible benefit if they complete with a request or reminds other of favors that should be reciprocated. In a simple word, if we are asking the favor from the other workers, we will give back them with rewards if they are done their job in a nice way. And finally is consultation, a seeking influence toward involving others participants in making decisions or planning how to implement a proposal, policy, strength, and changes. By we can say is increasing a target support by involving the colleagues in making decisions, so we can get some ideas from the colleagues to make a better decision and better choice.
Political behavior. Organizational politics are informal, unofficial, and sometimes behind the scenes efforts to sell ideas, influence on organization, increase power, or achieve other target objectives such as legitimate political behavior and illegitimate political behavior. So here, political behavior definition: activities that are not required as a part of one's formal role in the organization, but that influence or attempt to influence the distribution of advantages and disadvantages within the organization. So, explanation about legitimate political behavior: normal everyday politics, such as complaining or bypassing or obstructing. Another one is illegitimate political behavior. The second example of political behavior. Its definition are extreme political behavior that violates that implied rules of the game, such as sabotage, whistleblowing, and symbolic protest. Now we are in the causes of political behavior. As before I said, there are two types of causes of political behavior. One, individual factors, another one is organizational factors. So now we are in the consequence of power. Consequence of power got three: commitment, compliance, and resistance. Commitment has two examples: expert power and referent power. Compliance also have two: legitimate power and reward power. Resistance, coercive power only. Okay, now causes and consequence of political behavior. Individual factors: high self-monitors, internal locus of control, high MAC personality, organizational investment, and perceived job alternative. Okay, secondly, organizational factors: reallocations of resources, promotion opportunities, low trust, role ambiguity, and unclear performance evaluation system, zero-sum reward practices, and democratic decision making, high performance pressures, and self-serving senior managers. This all into political behavior, and it will be another turn favorable outcomes, which is reward and avowal punishments. As I said before, individual factors. So now I'm going to explain about individual factors. There are some factors. First, high self monitors. Second, internal locus of control. Third, high MAC personality. And fourth, organizational investment. And fifth, perceived job alternative. Explanation about high self monitor. This is more sensitive to social quiz, exhibits higher levels of social conformity, and it's more likely to be skilled in political behavior. Individuals with an internal locus of control. This also more prone to take a proactive stance and attempt to manipulate situation in their favor. So this is the explanation about individuals with an internal locus of control, one of individual factors. So now perceived job alternative, the third individual factor. The definition is the more alternative job opportunities an individual has due to a favorable job market or the possession of scarce skills and also knowledge, a prominent reputation of influential contacts outside of the organization, and last, the more likely the individual is to risk illegitimate political behavior and political actions also.
Hi, myself Yashni Jain. I'm from D83A and my metric number is F1076. Today I'm going to explain about organizational factors. Organizational factors have 9 subtopics. They are declining resources, promotion opportunities, low trust, role ambiguity, unclear performance evaluation system, zero-sum reward practices, democratic decision making, high performance pressures, self-serving senior managers. First, promotion opportunities. Mendorong orang untuk bersaing untuk mendapatkan sumber yang terhad, kita perlu cuba mempengaruhi keputusan-keputusan secara positif. Contohnya, jika saya sebagai seorang government employee, apabila saya berusaha untuk syarikat ataupun saya membuat membuat sesuatu yang boleh meningkatkan reputasi syarikat saya, government akan bagi promotion untuk saya. Semakin tinggi tahap tingkah laku politik dan semakin besar kemungkinan tingkah laku politik itu tidak sah. The causes of low trust is lack of communication, growing employee turnover, and inability to give honest and direct feedback. Role ambiguity bermaksud bahawa tingkah laku pekerja yang ditetapkan tidak jelas. Contohnya, terdapat sedikit had untuk ruang lingkup dan fungsi tindakan politik pekerja. Semakin besar kekaburan peranan, maksudnya role ambiguity, semakin banyak orang dapat terlibat dalam kegiatan politik dengan sedikit kemungkinan ia dapat dilihat. Then, unclear performance evaluation system. Jumlah masa yang berlalu antara tindakan dan penilaian. Contoh, langkah hasil tunggal mendorong melakukan apa saja yang diperlukan untuk kelihatan baik. Zero-sum reward practice, also called win-lose approach. Pendekatan zero-sum memperlakukan ganjaran pi sebagai tetap sehingga setiap keuntungan yang dicapai oleh seseorang atau kumpulan harus dilakukan dengan mengorbankan orang atau kumpulan lain. Sekiranya saya menang, anda pasti kalah. Ini mendorong menjadikan orang lain kelihatan buruk dan meningkatkan keterlihatan apa yang anda lakukan. Democratic decision making. Pengurus dalam organisasi ini diminta untuk berkelakuan lebih demokratik. Manager diberitahu bahawa mereka harus membenarkan pekerja menasihati mereka tentang keputusan dan bahawa mereka harus bergantung pada peningkatan input kumpulan ke dalam proses keputusan. Contoh, berkongsi kekuatan mereka dengan orang lain langsung bertentangan dengan keinginan beberapa pengurus. Hasilnya adalah bahawa pengurus, terutama mereka yang memulai karier mereka pada tahun 1950 dan 1960, dapat menggunakan jawatan kuasa, persidangan dan pertemuan kumpulan yang diperlukan dalam keadaan dangkal. High performance pressures. Semakin banyak tekanan yang dirasakan oleh pekerja untuk menunjukkan prestasi yang baik, semakin besar kemungkinan mereka terlibat dalam politik. Contoh, sekiranya seorang merasakan bahawa seluruh kejayaannya berada di apapun, berikutnya ada motivasi untuk melakukan apa saja yang diperlukan untuk memastikan hasilnya menguntungkan. Self-serving senior managers. Apabila pekerja melihat orang-orang di atas seperti manager, supervisor terlibat dalam tingkah laku politik, terutama ketika mereka melakukan dengan jaya dan diberi penghargaan terhadap yang tingkah laku yang mereka buat. Jadi, pekerja pun akan ikut cara yang orang-orang di atas telah buat.